Yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Bobby D back again with another hot, juicy video. And I'm here again with my mentor Steve, the hair expert, hair loss expert. And I know y'all seen my previous video about my hair transplant story, and hope y'all enjoyed that as well. And kind of want to talk about Steve about Finasteride actually, and it's kind of like a pill you take to prevent hair loss. And I wish I would have jumped on it sooner, to be honest with you, and probably could have saved me a lot of money and stuff. So just kind of let Steve kind of, talk about it. And
Well, hey, thanks for having me on today, Bobby. I'm excited again. I mean, we celebrated your results so far, and now that's over the top exciting. So I just want to say hi to everybody out there and let you know that one of the big components of success with Bobby's result happens to be the Finasteride. Now, Finasteride, for those of you that don't know, is the generic name for Propecia. Ooh, Propecia, that's a scary medication. I read about that online, right? Not exactly. The medicine of Propecia, which is the brand name, Finasteride is the generic, now that it's available a little bit cheaper out there, does something to the male body that has to be done in order to slow or stop hair loss. Potentially for some of you younger people, it could even grow a lot of hair back. And how does that work? So when you're going through puberty, you need an enzyme called DHT, dihydrotestosterone. And what happens is some of your testosterone will convert to dihydrotestosterone. That makes you a man. And we all know what that entails. And once you're a man, you're a man. So you don't really need the DHT that your testosterone has started creating in order to make you a man once you're a man. That makes sense. So what does the DHT do in the adult male body once you become a man? It can do three things, all potentially harmful, and only three things. It can make your hair fall out if you're sensitive to it. It can give you acne if you're sensitive to it. And it can give you an enlarged prostate once you hit about 50, 55 years old. That's not good either. So the DHT can only do three things that are all potentially harmful. What the Finasteride does is it suppresses the testosterone from converting into the DHT. In essence, giving you more testosterone. Now, a lot of you are already Googling online side effects from the Finasteride, and it's going to tell you things like, decreased sex drive. It's going to tell you things like inability to achieve an erection, not as good or great of an erection, if that. That's what you're going to see. In reality, when you raise your testosterone, not lower your testosterone, you're going to have a higher sex drive. You're going to have the ability to achieve a better erection. So that's the truth. Now, not to scare you away, but in a very, very small percentage, like Bobby's age, in the mid to late 20s, about 0.5% of you, for some weird reason, your sex drive may be driven off your DHT. That's not common. I haven't seen that in years. If that's the case, you're gonna know right away that you can't take this medication and nothing's gonna harm you. You stop using it, and then we talk about other options. But for 99.5% guys in their 20s, this is a very safe medication. It's got a 48-hour half-life. It's not one of those harmful medications that have all those potential side effects that you see on TV at the end of the commercial. It's actually very helpful for your hair, and you're a great living example of that. Mm-hmm. So I can get a lot more complicated and a lot more technical with this, but what we wanted to do is get out there to you what the myths are online about it and the scary things that are being said about it. In the industry of which the doctor is that Bobby had his hair transplant with, there's 265 full-time hair doctors that do this every day. Those doctors use this medication as their number one tool to stop patients from losing their hair. That makes their work look better, their patients are happier, everybody's happy. Could you imagine if millions and millions of prescriptions, a large percentage were having brain fog, irreversible erectile dysfunction, losing their ability to achieve an erection? That wouldn't go well. In the industry of those 265 hair doctors, the industry itself, not just specific clinics, we do not see these side effects that are listed online. Now, I'm not a doctor, and I don't claim to be any kind of medical trained person. This is all evidence that I've researched over the years in working with these doctors and read myself and done my own research. I personally have been taking this medication for 19 years. I pray every day that my sex drive slows down so I can enjoy myself and relax for once in my life. And that's not a joke. So if you're having questions or you're having concerns about this medication, before you go online and go down the black hole, give Bobby an email or a comment, see what he says about it. He's living proof of success. I mean, he looks fantastic, and we credit some of that to the medication as well. And you need to be aware of the truth out there about finasteride.
Yeah, for sure. Like what Steve was saying, I was completely scared. I was looking online and I was like, man, if I can't get an erection, like what's the point of even getting a hair transplant? I felt like, and so, because after my procedure, Dr. McGrath was like, hey, like you should try this for a year, and I don't want to lose any more hair. I fixed the front part of my hair, but I don't want to lose the back. So I was like, I'll just do it. I texted Steve multiple times, called Steve. I'm like, hey, it's like, is this gonna work? I'm not losing erection or brain fog or anything. And so I've been taking it for about 6 to 8 months, I would say, religiously. And I take about a quarter of the pill just because I have anxiety and I don't want to worry about it or anything. And I haven't had any issues, and I feel like my hair is pretty thick. So I have no regrets taking it. I'm probably gonna take it maybe the rest of my life, to be honest. I don't want to lose any more hair, and I love it. So I say, if you have any questions, reach out to me or Steve or anything on his channel. And but yeah, don't read the Reddit posts and get scared. I think it's, like I said, like a 1% chance or something like that. So I think it's worth it. So.
And I'll add to your talking about that, Bobby, is one thing I forgot to mention. In that history of 19 years and millions and millions and millions of patients using the medication, what did I say when I started talking? There's a 0.5% chance of men in their 20s. As you get older, it's maybe a percent and a half, 2%. In all of those cases of anyone that's actually had a documented side effect that also appeared in the case study, if they've gone off the medication, there's never been one documented case in the industry where everything didn't return to normal. That's very important. Now, the internet is going to tell you otherwise, and I don't know what to say about that. It's just that, when I was a kid, your age, I used to be afraid to fly, and people would say, well, what are you going to do? Stay in New Jersey your whole life? And I'd be like, well, there's plane crashes, right? So, but not many. So you just got to play the numbers. If you want your hair, this is a great tool, and it is something to definitely look into.
For sure. Well, guys, I hope you liked that video, and stay tuned for some more hot, juicy content coming.